The latest video, Shake the Disease, and in the control room is Martin Gore from Depeche. And, well, who is this? Who is this character, you know? I mean, David Bellamy? Who is it?
Well, I've got some creepy, quality
Wound here. Alan Whiling and Martin.
I'd like to point out to the lads and everyone we know out there, I tried to talk him out of this.
But he's been in makeup and he's been having a little root around, haven't you, Joke?
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Listen, how long have you two known each other? About?
Oh, 4 years, 3 years, 3.5 years, something like that.
So you weren't at school together?
No.
But you see a lot of each other. I mean, you're constantly touring and constantly playing together. Do you ever get sick of each other? Do you ever sort of start having rows? Really?
No, we're not too bad. I mean, only Fletch, you know, Fletch gets on our nerves a lot. Oh, obviously, yeah, he's a very irritating person.
Really?
No, we get on reasonably well, you know, most of the time. Obviously, when you've been on tour and in each other's pockets for a month or so, you know, then it's...
What do you argue about, though? I mean, what things sort of tend to get you all going?
Totally stupid things, yeah, nothing important. All the important things we totally agree on, all the stupid things we argue about, don't we?
Yeah. You should have said no there. No, we don't argue. Now, we went to Lightwater Valley last week, Maggie Philbin and I. We took the mobile pitch unit over to Lightwater Valley. And incidentally, it's a wonderful place to go. Go have a look at the maternity pig unit that we showed earlier on. There are loads of attractions, of course. We met some Depeche Mode fans. And apart from wanting to ask you loads of questions, they were also brave enough to have a go on the incredible Hell Slide. It is incredible. The top of it is absolutely awful. Carol said to you, would you have come down the Hell Slide? Well, would you have come down the Hell Slide, Martin?
Yes.
In a word. Have you ever sort of been down? What do you like on Big Dippers and roller coasters and things?
Pretty good. Pretty
good. Nothing bothers you?
Not really.
What about these Big Dippers that go upside down? Would you fancy having a go at that?
I think I've been on one before, yeah.
That is the worst, just sat at the top and sort of plunging off. What about you, Alan? Are you fairly brave on these things?
No, not really. No, I don't like them very much.
OK, Graham asked, first of all. He was the one with the dirty yellow socks, by the way. He said, what's your other favourite pop group? Martin?
I think my favourite pop group of all time is Sparks.
Sparks? Why?
Not so much now, but their early stuff, about 3 albums or so, very, very good.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
All that stuff, yeah.
We never hear much of them now, do we?
No, I think they've got some new stuff coming out, though.
Really? So they're still around? Yeah. What about you, Alan? Your favourite pop group? Apart from Depeche.
ZZ Top.
ZZ Top, why?
Well, they're just, you know, they're just the best, The image, everything.
Image. Talking about image, look at this beard. I mean, just look at it. It's wonderful.
Well, don't you like it?
I think it's great. I think it's about time you had a shave.
I think it's different.
Anna then came down. She was one with the Who sweater on. She said, what's your most embarrassing moment ever? Ever. Martin?
I haven't got one that actually stands out as being most embarrassing. They're all sort of equally as embarrassing. And it's usually when I've had, you know, sort of a bit too much to drink.
Anything you can tell us? Anything you can tell us?
Not really, not now.
Tell me later, Alan?
Yeah, nothing that can be revealed on television. I'm sorry about that, you know.
No problems on stage, but like, forgetting the songs or...
That's all on tape.
Oh, well, yes, I mean, I wasn't going to say
That's
that.
Pretty embarrassing.
Yes.
No, Fletch had quite an embarrassing moment. He broke his arm on the last tour, fell out of the bath. Oh, or was it that Fletch? I can't remember, something like that. No, he told us enough times, that's what it was. Yeah.
You've heard the news about Spandau Ballet, of course, about Steve Norman doing his knee. I mean, that must be a very embarrassing thing to happen, because he apparently slid along the floor.
Well, he's out of action, isn't he?
And he's completely out of action. He was sliding along the floor doing a sort of knee slide, and he's wrecked his knee. So, you know, get well soon, Steve. Apparently they're at the end of their tour, so it's not too bad. Now, the girl in the red and black check shirt, she came next, and she said, who inspired you to start playing? Who inspired you to start playing?
Gary Glitter.
Gary Glitter, really?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're obviously quite young then when you...
I just sort of really liked his songs and his image, you know, I was taken in by his image, the big eyes.
But it's a completely different image. I mean, you haven't got anything like that kind of image, have you? Not that very upfront sort of image.
Well, I don't mean I sort of want to copy him or sort of be like that, but I was taken in by it at the time, and I was about 12.
Yeah. He's a great performer, isn't he? Wonderful performer, and he's still around, which is great. Yeah. Alan?
Well, I'll go back slightly before that glam rock period, you know. No, I think Beatles, you know, I'd have to say them, really.
Yeah, the Beatles. Now, how did Depeche actually get together? Tell us the story of Depeche.
Go on, Martin.
Go on, Martin, you tell us.
Well,
we sort of got together about 5 years ago, and originally it was just me, Andy and Vince Clark, who went on to form Yazoo, and then we sort of got Dave in as the singer, started playing around locally and things. It just, like, I knew Andy from school, Vince lived out my back, and Dave just lived over the other side of town, so you know, we all sort of knew each other roughly.
So what sort of places did you play? Did you actually get to play at school at all?
We did play actually at mine and Andy's school. Yeah. You know, sort of just a youth club or something. Yeah. We played another youth club in Basildon. They were the sort of the first 2 concerts that we did.
Do you ever sort of go back and pay a visit to home and play, or not?
No. It's too difficult these days, you know, getting it all together. Yeah, getting the whole show together.
They're so busy, folks. It's wonderful. Now then, competition time again. Hang around. We'll be hearing more from Martin, because there are a couple. You've had 12 sort of chart singles hits, but you've never had a #1, have you?
No.
Why do you think you've never had a #1?
Well, it's a very difficult question to answer that, really. You know, we just keep trying our best, and I mean, it's not vital to us to have a #1 anyway. So although it would be nice, of course. But
what kind of a difference does it make, though? I mean, is it enough for a band just to do very well, like you have done very well, or really is getting a #1 very important in terms of, obviously, financially and carrying on working afterwards?
It's you know, it's nice to carry on at this level. If we could carry on at this level for the next, you know, however much time, we'd be happy. Yeah. You know, so we're enjoying what we're doing, so.
Because with all the competition around, you know, you're still there, which is great. I remember when you first played on Get Set for Summer in this very studio. What was that, 4 years ago? 4 years ago, yeah. Right, now then, we'll go back to Lightwater Valley, to the kids who were asking questions coming down the hell slide. And Mark asked, if you hadn't taken pop music as your career, what would you have been? What do you think you'd have been, Martin?
Well, when I left school, I worked in a bank for a year.
Did you?
Sort of just getting some money together.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't taken off, I'd have probably still been there, you know.
You must have been quite bright, because, I mean, you can't just walk into a bank and get a job. You must have done quite well at school.
Reasonably well, but yeah, I think it's not that difficult to get a job in a bank.
Haven't you got to 5 O-levels or something?
Possibly, yeah.
Well, that's not bad. That's more than I got. What did you get? Tell us about how you did at school.
I did quite well. I stayed on until I was 18. Yeah. Did 2 A-levels.
So he was bright, you see. He was very bright. He's just being modest about it. Alan, what about you? What would you have done if you...
Well, when I left school, I worked in a recording studio for a while, and I probably would... I mean, I would have been involved in the music business in some direction or other, I think, you know, because it was the only thing I was ever really interested in. So maybe I would have still been there.
But did you ever visualise then that you'd actually be performing instead of just working behind the scenes?
Well, yeah, I wanted to, yeah. That's how I got involved in a band, because I always wanted to be in a band.
Yeah, right. Wonderful. Yes.
And I think we've got some videos to give away today. Yeah. And our question is very simple. Where was it recorded? It's so simple, it's on the cover, but so I've got to cover it up.
Right. Well, there's so many names on this. What are you doing this weekend? Where are you off to?
Well, Martin's flying back to Berlin, aren't you, Mark?
I'll be in Berlin.
Pops over there.
You're based in Berlin?
That's right, yes.
Are you very well known in Germany?
Quite well known, yeah.
Yeah? As well known as over here? Probably more, I think.
Probably a bit more, yeah.
Great. Well, thanks to you both for coming in. I know it's been very early, and thanks for having a shave during the programme. We appreciate that. Yeah. Right, now then, back to our postcode competition and question number 5. OK, here we go. At 1:30 today, on the 4th of May, there'll be a...
It's a pleasure being here with Elvira. So how did you get talked into doing this one?
It took a lot of persuading us to do it. So, everyone just said it was a good idea, you know, to do it. We weren't going to be coming back for a long time, so it's a good idea just to come over. And we've never done TV, so we've only ever done one other TV in America.
Why is that on?
Well, we just like to keep a low profile, really. We don't like to sort of publicise ourselves too much. Yeah. Plus we've never been asked.
You say you're not coming back for a long time. What does that mean? Like years and years?
Well, no. You know, I mean, we've just been in the studio. When we finished the tour, we went back and mixed a live album, which we recorded at the Rose Bowl, and we filmed it and everything as well. So that's what we're working on now. And that's coming out in January, and then we'll start working on a new album. Hopefully, that'll be out later in the year or something like that.
You guys' music has really made it on its own merits. I mean, you went out there and you got the audience yourself. Do you feel vindicated by all this finally, for all these years?
Well, we feel we've worked hard at that, and we've built up a good live following, and that's the main reason for it, you know. And it's nice that it's now starting to sort of rub off a bit, all that hard work we've put in over the years. We've toured nearly every year, you know, and it's starting to rub off and starting to work, so we're quite pleased about the way it's happened, yeah. Not just that it's happened, but the way it's happened here.
You have a really fanatical following over here.
Yeah.
Different from the audiences in Europe.
Especially England. No, that was a joke.
The pros thing, or
No, I mean, we sort of made it first in England, so it's like, you know, it's very difficult to sort of sustain.
History, yeah.
It's difficult to sustain the whole momentum of the whole thing, you know, as well. You know, we've been going now for 8 years. It's a long time in this game.
Did one of you explain acid house music to us?
No idea.
What's
it mean? Well, I just,
You know? What?
Acid's acid, isn't it? Acid's acid.
You've done acid, you know what acid house is.
But it was big in
What's the
England for a
house
week.
though?
We're still
The house is because the house comes from, like, you take the acid in the house.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks a lot.
With me, by a magic of television, are Alan Wilder and Martin Gore. Hello, boys.
Hello, Muriel. Hello, Muriel.
Now, Martin, unfortunately, I'm sorry about this, it was only Martin, was described recently in the New Statesman as the sexiest man in rock and roll. Now, what have you to say to that, Martin?
Yeah, I'm glad someone started noticing it.
And what I'm going to do now is ask you to stand up, because I've noticed you're wearing your belts in an extremely interesting way, and perhaps the viewers would like to copy this.
I think I can do that.
Oh, go on, stand up and see. Now, is that holding everything in place? Nothing slips out?
I think so.
Well, I think it's stunningly attractive. Now, you've just done a tour of Poland, you were telling me. How did you do that? Well, a few months ago.
We did a gig in Poland. It wasn't exactly a tour. We went to Budapest and Warsaw, and we tried to also line up a gig in East Germany and Russia, but that didn't happen. But at least we got to those other places.
So how did you manage to get the gigs that you did do behind the Iron Curtain? Was that hard to organise?
We just told our agent we wanted to go there and told him to get on with it, really.
What kind of reactions did you get from the fans over there?
Very good. It was the concerts were sold out, you know. Played a football stadium in Budapest on my birthday. Very good, you know.
They were very enthusiastic, you know, very good, yeah.
Can they buy your records in Poland?
I think with difficulty, yeah. They've been
I don't think
there's not actually records released, are there?
they're starting soon. We've actually got a deal that's sort of starting with the next album. But Shake the Disease, our last single, was a #1 radio hit over there, although it wasn't available in the shops.
And a few people had like cassettes that they got on import or whatever, you know, they found them somewhere or other.
Or for political punishment, they make them listen to Depeche Mode albums. They're all very familiar with it. Now, your singles have been very consistently good pop singles. They always get to sort of roughly the same place in the charts. Do you ever get a bit bored by being mediumly successful?
I think we do, yeah. I think we would probably like to be more successful, but then again, we don't want to do all the really, really tacky things you have to do to maybe get further up the chart. So it's a bit of a difficult situation.
Sometimes as well, I think England's more boring than most territories for us, because, you know, we do a bit better in a lot of Europe now, so that gives us a bit of excitement at least.
Right, well, I'm glad you'll have a bit of excitement. I've had excitement talking to the sexiest man in rock and roll, and the second sexiest as well. And talking about very sexy rock and rollers, here's the first one from our music shed. It's the...
Now, how do you think your fans will take the Violator album? Is it a big change for you? Do you feel it's a very different kind of album?
So we haven't really got a very good perspective on it because we've been so involved in it for so long. But, you know, so far it seems to have been received very well. You know,
we've had really good
press reviews,
you know, and you know, people that have heard it have said that, yeah, it's come a long way, you know, since the last album, since Music for the Masses. It's you know, it's a complete sort of change, you know. But I mean, for us, as Martin said, it's difficult to tell because you've been so close to it and you've worked on it for a year, you know, and it's nice when you have people that come up to you afterwards after they've heard it and say things like that, you know. Not just friends, but then you get journalists but before that have slagged you off, you know, and then suddenly they say, well, I hate this band, but actually this album's great, you know.
Or they turn around and say, I've always been your biggest fan.
And now I hate this album, yeah.
Does it seem more like a more mellow album to you in some ways? I mean, I didn't hear so much of the industrial percussion that you used to use, particularly mid-decade.
I think it's more natural. You know, we chilled out, man. No, I think it is a more...
we're getting on, aren't we?
Yeah, we're getting on, we're getting older, you know. It's more natural.
I know the feeling.
It's more organic sounding. That's the right sort of word. It's, I don't know, it's just... I think it's got more
atmosphere in a lot of different sorts of ways to our last album's Music for the Masses.
All that stuff. I remember somebody coming into the studio when we were working on Music for the Masses and said, "Sounds really mellow." And when he left, we were thinking, is that good or bad?
It's an insult, isn't it? It's like, you know,
I don't think it's...
That's the ambiguity you love, right?
Yeah. I don't know, mellow is usually like, you know, it's a bit easy listening, isn't it? It's a bit of an easy listening word. I don't think it's easy listening, really.
It ain't easy listening at all.
All right, good.
Now, all your albums, consistently, Martin, your lyrics have used the word pain a lot, and basically you seem to have...
That's because look at him, he's suffering.
Yeah.
He suffers all the time.
Look.
I mean, are you
the glasses off, mate.
Are you a miserable bastard, basically?
No, not really. No,
I am.
At all. Today, a bit. Yeah. But generally, no, I'm not. You know, I like having a good time, going out and stuff. You know.
He's not a miserable bastard, no.
But you see music as a good forum to express some of the darker side of life?
I just try to make realistic music that, you know, portrays life. And life is often, you know, boring and mundane, so...
So, I suppose you say we make boring music. No, I mean, you know, it's true. Martin, I think just Mark writes in a realistic way. He writes about the real things that go on, you know, not false things, you know, not things that aren't real, you know, not fantasy, you know. I mean, some of it can be fantasy, you know, but...
Your new single and video is Enjoy the Silence. Can you tell us a little bit about what this song is about?
Well, vaguely, yeah.
Keep it ambiguous.
It's just about a feeling of, you know, not wanting anything else, feeling totally satisfied, and even, you know, words and everything seem an intrusion. You know, you don't need anything else, you're totally happy.
That's why in the
it's a nice song, it's nice, that's
it's a nice song, yeah.
It's a nice
and that's
song.
why as well, if you notice in the video, you'll see that I only sing like one line in the whole thing every now and then, one repeated. Words are very unnecessary. Because you've got all these beautiful scenes, it's beautiful photography everywhere, and you're looking at this fantastic photography, so words, you know, that's the whole idea. And so I'm a king, obviously, you know, it's supposed to have everything.
It is a great looking video. You're on tour when?
We start the tour end of May, and it's starting in America as well, and it goes right through to the following year all over the world.
We will look forward to that. Thanks very much for coming.
これは実はコンサート中であります。でコンサート終わり次第こちらの方に駆けつけることになっております。一つ期待していただきたい。もうエレクトロニクスの最たるサウンドをですね、聞かせてくれるということでありますね。
よろしくどうぞ。
そしていよいよお待たせいたしました。コンサートを終えましてですね、エレクトロニクスサウンドすごいですけどもね、ディペッシュモードがスタンバっているようでございます。やってまいりました。早速どうぞ。 DD の拍手に迎え入れられて入ってくるところでございます。さあ、まずはこちらの方にコンサートアートでありますけれどもね、その余韻というものが残ってる感じです。どうぞこちらにディペッシュモードの4人組です。
ようこそもくたびれちゃったんじゃないかしら。はい、いらっしゃいませ。Thank you. Thank you for coming.
はい、どうぞ。もうちょっと、はい、ずっと奥の方へ。さてこの中で誕生日の方ってどなたでしたっけ？
お誕生日の人、
25歳の誕生日だっていう人、バースデー、あ、バースデー、ちゃんと用意するものは用意してますよ。それじゃあ思いっきり肺活量の勝負。
Just like to say, this is my 20th cake of the day, but and I've got no wind left.
セレモニー行ってみましょう。せーの。お、ストローク作ってますね。お、すごい。唾も飛び散っております。はい。コンサートは盛り上がったみたいですね。
Yeah, very good.
はい、とても良かったです。で、ロイヤルウェディングの方も見るチャンスがあったかしら。
Did you have a chance to see the royal wedding?
No.
No. Love to have caught it, love to have caught it, but we're doing a gig.
はい、それでは用意をしていただきたいと思います。
じゃあ用意していただきましょう。別スタジオでね。
はい、お願いしましょう。
はい。もうほらコンサートの余韻でそのまま来てますから。
そうなんですね。
テンションがハイになってます。はい。この調子です。はい。
さあ、スタジオの方もビンビン参りたいと思いますよ。それではいよいよファッションショーの時間です。
周りの部屋です。
はい。
はい。私初登院した時にやっぱりオリンピックとは違うなと思った小野清子です。ということでディペッシュモードの4人組でございますのでね、よろしくお願いいたします。まず初めに聞きたいのはギターをあえて捨てて、シンセサイダーにかなりこだわってるというその音楽作り、どれに特質があるんでしょうか。
We find using synthesizers very interesting, a lot more interesting than using guitars. The guitar's basically got one sound, and synthesizers, you know, they're limitless.
やっぱり基本的にはギターよりもシンセサイザーの音の方が面白いと。ギターにはやっぱり基本的に一つの音しかないところがシンセサイザーではもういろんな色のカラフルな音が出せるっていうことがやっぱり面白いです。なるほどね。
でもこうやって見てるとですね、やっぱりもともと岸さんはやっぱ黒を基調としているというファッションなんだけども、ほとんど黒で夏場革ジャンでも暑くないですかねみんな。
Pass the mic to me. I thought you could take that one.
That was a clip from Depeche. Now we've got loads of questions for you, and you've got a competition for us. But first, tell me what you've been doing for the last few months.
Well, just recently, we've just come back from Japan. We've been touring, and America as well. We've done a very successful tour over there. Other than that, we just finished recording a new single, which is out now, and of course the live video, which is also out now.
What was it like in Japan?
Very odd. The people over there, the audiences are very odd. They're very sort of, I don't really know how to react. They haven't been taught how to react, or they haven't had enough groups over there to react to. I don't know what it is, but it's very strange, very quiet, you know, when you do a gig.
They're scared to offend you, aren't
they? They think if they scream and shout at you and join in and clap their hands, that they'll offend you, and then you'll be offended by it, which is obviously, you know, totally wrong.
Right then, well, we've got some questions for you. And there's one from Carol Johnson from County Down in Northern Ireland, and she had 20 questions for you. So, here's one. If you were doing a concert on the moon, what 3 things would you take with you?
I suppose we'd need a PA, which is a sound.
Yeah, we need our lights, and we need our instruments. I mean, we would like to take a few other things, you know, like some clothes and that, but if we're only allowed 3.
Right then, and there's one here from Sarah Burke of Sheffield, and she says, what's Dave's favourite drink and hobby?
A hobby? My hobby is probably fishing, and drink, I don't really know, tea, I suppose.
And Jackie Nutty of Nottingham.
Jackie Nutty?
Why are you never featured on the sleeves of your singles and albums?
Well, the thing is, like, we always think that pictures always date, you know, so we've always tried to keep away from that. You know, you see these pictures of bands of like 10 years ago, you know, that are really look terrible when you see them now. So we always like to keep away from the image, and we like to concentrate on the music, and we try and have a cover that actually fits the mood of the album.
Oh, right, well, you've got a competition for us, so tell us about it.
Yes, before Christmas we recorded this live video called The World We Live In live in Hamburg, and this is a clip from it, and we want to know the title of the song and also the album which it comes from.
Right, so that's identify the song and tell us which album it comes from. Here's the song.
So why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. People are people so...
So if you know which album that song comes from, put your answer on a postcard with your name and address and send it to First Post, Granada TV, Manchester M60 9EA, to arrive no later than Tuesday the 7th of May. The first 3 correct answers will each receive a VHS home video recording of Depeche Mode live in Hamburg. Now let's have a look at Depeche Mode's new video. This is the first time on British TV.
Hello, I'm Martin. Hi, I'm Alan. Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Andy. We're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone here at the Weir Home Office who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Henry Drose, George Caroli, Tony Camerado, Nancy Johnson and Bobby Miller. Without your efforts, this phenomenal sales success would have been impossible.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Hello, this is Martin. Hi, I'm Alan. Hi, I'm David.
I'm Andy, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone at the We're Atlanta branch who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Jared Neff, Warren Hudson, Katie Seidel, Rita Duke and Bill Janis. Without your efforts, this phenomenal sales success would have been impossible.
Hi, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone at the We're Miami sales office who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Jared Neff and John McAllister. Without your efforts, this phenomenal sales success would have been impossible. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hi, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everybody at the We're Chicago branch who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Dave Stein, Richard Wallard, Kim Paul and Burt Carradine. Without your efforts, this phenomenal success would have been impossible. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone at the WEA Minneapolis sales office who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Dave Stein, again, busy man, and Ken Ornberg. Without your efforts, this phenomenal success would have been impossible. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Hello Cleveland, we're Depeche Mode. We'd like to thank everyone at the We're Cleveland branch who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold record, especially Larry Bowl, Barbara Balchick, Tim Hurst and Sally Quinlivian. Sorry Sally there.
Great name.
Without your efforts, this phenomenal sales success would have been impossible.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot. Hello, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone at the We're Detroit sales office who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Larry Bowl and Patrick Gruber. Without your efforts, this phenomenal sales success would have been totally impossible. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much. Hi y'all, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everybody at the We're Dallas branch who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Murray Nagel, Jerry Barrett, Lisa Giles and Candy Jones. Without your efforts, this phenomenal success Sorry, sales success would have been totally impossible. Thanks very much.
Hi, we're Depeche Mode. We'd like to thank everyone at the We're Los Angeles branch who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Mark Goldstein, Drew Gitlin, Nancy Levin and Andrew Fuller. Without your efforts, this phenomenal sales success would have been impossible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Flying as a bat, mine.
Hello, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone at the We're San Francisco sales office who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Mark Goldstein, Gary Briggs and Lisa Bogle. Without your efforts, this phenomenal sales success would have been impossible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone at the We're Seattle office who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Mark Goldstein and Sue Brett. Without your efforts, this phenomenal success would have been impossible. I just can't say that word, I'm sorry.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hi, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone at the We're Boston sales office who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Craig Smith, Andrew Kavosnos and Eileen Gildo. Without your efforts, this phenomenal success would have been totally impossible. Thanks very much. Phenomenal.
Hello, we're Depeche Mode, and we'd like to thank everyone at the We're New York branch who helped make Personal Jesus our first gold single, especially Craig Smith, Hillary Scribner, Anne-Marie Foley and Suzanne Nelson. Without your efforts, this phenomenal sales success would have been impossible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. Yeah, got it.
Thank you. Hello, this is Depeche Mode. We'd like to say thanks to everyone at MTV, Abby, John, Rick, the new staff and the gang at 120 Minutes for their continued support. We are giving you this gold single for Personal Jesus to say thanks. We're looking forward to many more years with MTV. Thanks to
Thanks for seeing our videos on there. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Hi, we're Depeche Mode. You're tuned in to Request a Video. It's Stay tuned for more videos with the poor man.
Poor man. Poor man. With the poor man.
This video for you tonight on MTV. Mark Goodman here with you, and of course the Stranglers, long-time close personal friends of Depeche Mode. We have Martin Gore and David Gunn here with us. Welcome to MTV, you guys. You have been around in England for years. 5 albums in England, and a new one out now here in the States called Some Great Reward.
Yeah, four albums actually, yeah.
Including Some Great Reward.
Yeah.
Okay, scratch that off. 4 albums, not 5. Okay. Since you are new to America, Depeche Mode, I speak only English, not French. Perhaps you could define Depeche Mode.
Well, see, the name is like, we just got the name from a magazine when I was working at college, if anyone wants to know. And
of course they want to know.
It doesn't really mean anything the way we actually write it. But I think in French, it comes from the verb to hurry. It probably means hurried fashion or something like that.
I thought there was a fashion magazine involved here somewhere. Am I wrong?
Yeah. It's actually a magazine called Depeche Mode, but it's written different, and they use like the accents and stuff, the cutes and stuff on it. And we just take all that off, so it doesn't really mean anything.
When people write about Depeche Mode, they describe the band as a synth band, but a lot more human. A band with a face, a synth band with a face. Is that close to real? Is that close to real?
I mean, we're a pop band, you know, and we tend to use synthesizers and computers more than we use guitars. I mean, we do actually use guitars occasionally and stuff, but we tend to use electronics a lot more. We just find it a lot more interesting using electronic sound.
But you do more than just synthesizer kinds of things. In fact, you use synthesizers in a pretty interesting way. Can you describe what it is that you sort of program into these things?
We always have a lot of trouble actually trying to describe this process.
Great.
We do know, honest. We do a lot of sampling, which people have probably heard of things like the Fairlight and things like that. We use an instrument called a synclavier, which is very similar to the Fairlight. And you can like just sample natural sounds or instruments, anything you like, into the computer. Then you've got it on the keyboard, and then you can like sequence those sounds or do what you like with them.
So, for example, a sound. I know we're gonna have to go here, but a sound like you could program into that and then play it on a chord.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. And then you get a big.
We have more with Depeche Mode coming up. Don't go anywhere. It gets even better.
Now, let's face it, you've sold 100 million records, playing huge stadiums, you know, and you continue to do that over a long career from the 80s. How do you stay on for that long? That's my question.
A lot of luck.
Can't be that alone, surely.
Oh, it's a lot of hard work too, and good songs, and you know, just working hard. Yeah, it was, you know, having a lot of fun doing it.
Now, we had, for instance, these last couple of weeks, we had Marianne Faithfull on, and we've had Youssef on, who was Cat Stevens in the 60s. They were talking about the 60s being a time. Now, you started, I suppose, in the 80s. Would you have said that's would you say the 80s for you, are they a particular time?
It's a bit of a blur, isn't it?
It was a time.
Yes. There's about 10 years of it. Or is it timist to be timist? To say, you know, is there, if you were to look back and you say, there was a period I really liked, when would it be?
It wasn't the 80s. No. Not really.
Probably the 90s. It was a lot of fun.
1690s or the 1990s?
1990s, yeah. Not that old, Jules.
Yeah. But you can read about times, can't you, and imagine what they were like. Yeah. So
70s, late 70s was good too.
Do you? What would you like about them?
It was just a great time for music. It was like a time when you felt like you could, watch TV, watch Top of the Pops, wherever, and see people doing stuff that you could do.
Yeah.
You know, a way to escape.
Yes, music's a great way to escape. We've got a nice clip of you here now, I think, in 1981.
Not a good time, I told you.
Che presentano una musica nuova. Ecco, intanto io vorrei conoscere questi ragazzi uno per uno. Now, what is your name?
Dave.
Questo è Dave, che sarebbe Davide, lui lo dice con un po' di accento vero della regione dalla quale viene. Now, what is your name? Alan. Abbiamo Alan. Poi qui abbiamo...
Martin.
Martin. Are you a boy or a girl? You're a boy. Sì. Ecco, gli ho chiesto se è maschio o femmina perché sembrava una femminuccia. Ok, I was just kidding. And who are you?
I'm Andy.
A what?
Andy.
Andy. Ecco, questo qui è Andy, che si vede che è talmente spaventato che ha i capelli diritti, avete visto? Sembra Stanlio, no? Stanlio Olio, sembra Stanlio con i capelli così. Che strumento è? What instrument is this?
It's a kind of oboe.
Una speciale, un oboe particolare, ecco, che usano per questi strumenti particolari. But where did you get it?
In a shop.
In a shop, yes, I know.
No, in London.
In London, yes, but where does this instrument come from? Actually, you don't know. From Asia, from India probably, from India. Ecco, questo deve essere il ragazzo più intelligente dei quattro perché ha detto subito che viene dall'India. Allora, intanto voi siete ragazzi moderni ma vi vestite di nero, che è tanto triste. Now, you're up to date boys, but why do you wear black? Why don't you wear red, yellow, green?
Black's the in colour at the moment. Black's the in colour.
Oh, it's the in color, cioè il colore di moda. Io non lo sapevo e loro dovrebbero saperlo, visto che sono ragazzi che hanno scelto Depeche Mode. Do you know what Depeche Mode means?
No.
What does it mean?
Well, it doesn't mean anything to us. We just found the name in a magazine.
In a magazine you found it. I see. Perché io credo che Depeche, io il francese non lo conosco molto bene, ma non vuol dire moda pronta? C'è qualcuno che conosce il francese, credo che voglia dire moda pronta. Moda pronta? Ecco, qui abbiamo i nostri cameraman che parlano correntemente il francese. Ok. Ready-made fashion it means, that's what they say. You don't know what it means. Okay. Now, I'm just trying to say something about you people because you're going to be very popular in the future here in Italy, you know? I'm quite sure they're going to like you. Allora, vediamo le ultime cose che possiamo dire a questi ragazzi. Where do you exactly come from?
It's a place called Basildon, just outside London.
Outside London, dice, vengono da un paesino che è fuori Londra, lì vicino. Beh, altre cose non hanno da dire perché sono dei bravi ragazzi, direi. Sono tutti ragazzi un po' diversi da quelli soliti che siamo abituati a vedere, con una pettinatura particolare. May I touch you here? Oh no, I see.
Touch yours.
I see. Yes, you can touch it too. Same thing. Ok, good luck to you boys. Arrivederci ragazzi. Ciao, stai bene? Ok. Allora.
Martin from Depeche Mode, Fletch from Depeche Mode, Dave from Depeche Mode, hello there.
Hello.
These are your big ones.
Good.
The big ones. In all your years in show business, who is the most famous person you have rubbed shoulders with?
That would probably have to be David Bowie. David Bowie.
Oh, that's what Dave said.
Gary Lineker. Once I got in a lift with Iggy Pop.
Did he give you crisps?
He has given us a big box of crisps, so he's very generous on that.
What is the best song by Depeche Mode?
For me, I think probably Condemnation.
World in My Eyes from Violator.
And the worst?
What's Your Name?
What's Your Name? Our first Speak and Spell, first album.
How did that go?
Hey, you're such a pretty boy.
Hey, you're such a pretty boy, you're so pretty. P-R-E-G-G-Y.
Sounds nice.
I question your sexuality.
Question. Do you like sushi?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
We could go have a sushi.
You are really gay, aren't you?
Last time you married someone?
Just over 5 years ago. I had to think about that, but I've done it a few times, and this one's for keeps.
14 years ago.
Oh, it's going well then.
It is, yeah.
Last time I married someone was a really big mistake because I'm in the middle of divorce at the moment.
How do you keep the spark alive?
Webcam, usually.
Give her everything she wants, then it's done. You can move in with me. Who really rocks, really hard?
I think the White Stripes.
What are your top 3 beauty tips?
Frownies.
Frownies?
Things that you put on your head. Don't drink too much.
Right.
And they stop you looking frowny.
Talcum, Johnson's Johnson's talc, is it baby powder or something?
How do you keep your teeth so shiny?
I had them done.
Oh, really?
You did have horrible teeth before, though, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could go whiter.
You could go whiter than that?
You could go whiter.
I'm almost blind here. Do you massage your head?
Actually, I do, yeah.
Could I massage it?
Yes.
Do you want me to keep doing it?
It's quite nice.
Lovely. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, I did. You did, actually.
Last time a major celebrity kissed your wife?
That would probably have been David Bowie.
Frank Lampard.
Oh.
Yeah.
On the cheek?
Yes.
Good, good. Did she enjoy it?
I didn't really ask her.
In which countries are you bigger than Craig David?
Pretty much everyone.
After 25 years together, is there anybody in your band you still don't really know?
No.
Probably myself. Oh yeah, I know, that was so deep, wasn't it?
What's Dave's favourite girl band?
I don't know.
PJ Harvey.
Okay.
Is that a girl band?
That's what I said.
Oh, well, I think she has many personalities.
Oh, interesting. Is there anybody in the band you don't really like?
No.
Even the drunk one?
It's I like the drunk one especially.
Yeah.
I like to drink.
Right.
So sometimes I fall off chairs.
Favourite French person?
That would have to be Serge Gainsbourg.
No one.
You don't like any of the
Don't
French
like
people?
the French, no.
What about Gérard Depardieu?
The name's not familiar.
None of them?
No.
What about Louis Vuitton?
I don't carry handbags.
What is it about them you don't like?
They only take a bath once a week. So
That can't be true.
It's true, yeah.
No. What did you do at school that you got shouted at for?
Everything and nothing, it seemed. I couldn't win.
Farting in assembly.
How did you feel about the Blazing Squad splitting up?
I'm still kind of upset.
What would you like to be remembered for?
I don't know. Wearing nice suits.
It's a very nice suit.
Thanks.
Lovely slim fit.
Yeah.
Is it quite tight on the crotch area?
It's a little tight.
Yeah, but it's a lovely thing to see.
But it's a good line.
Yeah. Last time you said, "Quick, everybody, hide! Michael Stipe is coming."
I haven't done that for a couple of years.
But, well, funnily enough, I see him quite a bit because he lives on my street.
Do you ever call him Stipe?
I usually just call him Mickey. He doesn't really like it, and he completely ignores me.
Does he
usually holds his hands like this as well a lot.
Right.
When he's talking to you. I don't know what that's about.
He's a very spiritual man.
Maybe.
Have you met Simon Le Bon?
Yes, I have, and he was really rude to me.
What did he say?
He said to me, he turned and he looked at me and he said, don't tell me, Depeche Mode, yeah, I like your stuff, keep it up. And I didn't say anything.
How clean is your house?
My house is actually very clean.
How clean is your horse?
I don't have a horse.
Dave and Depeche Mode, thank you very much.
Thanks.
God bless you. Did you enjoy them?
Yes, I did.
Good.
Thank you.
I think you're my favourite.
Thank you.
This is it, huh?
I think I'll ask you a question.
So I should stun you with my question.
Stun
now.
us.
Okay. Well, I was wondering, you said you had a lot of religious undertones in your music, and I also find that you have a lot of sexual undertones in your music, and I was wondering if that came from any personal experiences, if any personal sexual experience, not with particularly one person, or an encounter.
Or any...
or any position, I'm not saying
What position do you like best?
But whether that...
Is this an offer? Is this an offer?
What position do you like best?
Yeah, on top, bottom, what? I was wondering if sex influences your music as much as the religion does.
They both go hand in hand because, as I said, I said during the European thing, that I touch on God within the first few lines and sex within the next few lines, because a lot of the time I think they're the same thing for me, because I've always tried to understand religion and I've never been able to grasp it. The nearest that I can get to it and be able to comprehend something is sex. I can comprehend sex. I can comprehend sex. So it becomes a religion for me. It becomes a religion.
Ruth.
So it becomes a religion for me.
What is it exactly you want?
What I want?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to know.
Why? We're on TV, this is big chance.
Spit it out.
Spit it out, there's your man.
I don't usually spit it out.
Very good answer. Very good.
I like that. I'll save it.
You answer it. Good girl.
Alright, we ready?
E questo è proprio un vero caso, accidenti che amici di Billy. Ho incontrato qui niente meno che due ragazzi di Depeche Mode, Dave and Martin.
Hi, alright.
What you guys doing here? Cosa fate qui?
Just cruising.
Dove
cruising. Looking for chicks.
Ah, stanno cercando le ragazze. Oh no, man. And what happened to Andy and Ellen?
They've been more successful. They've got some already.
They got some already?
Yeah.
Dice che Andy e Ellen sono andati al giro di ragazze più fortunate di loro che le hanno già trovate. Okay, you guys here for a tour, right?
Yeah, we're doing 3 shows. We're doing one here tonight in Florence, and then tomorrow I think we go to Bologna and then Milano.
Come sapete già benissimo, sono qui per il loro tour concerto, stanno a Firenze, Bologna e Milano. È cosa molto importante sapere leggermente il loro background, come hanno iniziato. Because all of us need to know how you guys start together. You know, the group was in 1980.
That's right. We started in 1980, and in those days we had a different lineup. There was a guy called Vince who left about a year in 1980, at the end of 1981. He went on to form Yazoo and the Assembly, and sort of when he left, we got in a replacement who was Alan Wilder, who's he's quite nice.
Quite nice. All right, and but what happened when Vince left? Okay, I mean, you was a group all together. You started with Vince, so he left, and you had a kind of dark scenes, or
he left really early on. You know, it was when we sort of it was after a year or so. So we just started really. So there was no question at that time that we were going to split or anything. We didn't even think about it really. We just went in the studio. Martin was writing songs, and we was lucky enough to Martin had some songs. Which one was "See You," and that was a big hit for us. So we carried on.
Your first single on a compilation, Some Bizarre. I remember that.
Photographic, yeah.
Photographic.
Yeah.
It was a hit.
Well, it was.
No, not a hit. Well, it was so the beginning of
yeah.
I can say a new style of music, because you guys use a lot of electronic, right?
Yeah.
I have to translate. I'm sorry. Dice che loro sono formati nell'80-81, con loro c'era Vince Clarke che li ha lasciati nella fine 81, ma per questo loro non è stato assolutamente un problema, perché erano appunto agli inizi. Poi hanno continuato a fare musica al momento che Martin aveva già composto altre canzoni, le hanno mescolate, remixate, messe insieme. E il loro primo singolo, Photographic, uscì su una compilation LP chiamata Some Bizarre. Un'altra domanda da fare sia a Martin che a Dave è sapere molto velocemente la loro discografia sin dagli inizi. Records, date by date, the first one, the second one, and the third one. After Photographic, what happened?
Well, Photographic wasn't actually a single.
It was part of the compilation.
It was part of the compilation album. First actual single was a song called Dreaming of Me, which came out in February 1981. And after that we had a song called New Life, which came out around June 1981. Followed by our first album. Do you want to know all of them? Our first album, Speak and Spell, which came out around September 1981.
That's it. From now on, I would like to know, not me, but the fans for real, the critics on Depeche Mode after Speak and Spell, the LP. What were the rumors around you guys, Dave?
The thing is, there was a lot of people asked this question. See, at the time we never ever thought about that we was going to sort of split up and finish after the first album sort of thing. But a lot of the critics were saying that when Vince left, because he wrote most of the songs on the first album, that we were going to split and things, but we didn't, and we just carried on to record another 3 albums.
See, after the first album, we did come in for quite a lot of slagging, which was sort of quite obvious really, and we just sort of rode through that, and sort of Yazoo at that time were like getting sort of really praised,
And then from that, like, you go on to the next year, and of course the critics can't do the same thing 2 years running. The next year we got praised, and Yazoo got slagged. You know, they just change with the wind.
It's one-on-one.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you don't have, you shouldn't really worry about it too much. Although sometimes some of it does hurt, but sometimes you should just try and ignore it, because otherwise, if you start thinking about critical things that are bad critical things, you know, it just puts you down, you know.
Well, a fact is that when Depeche Mode in 1982, the critic was kind of, you know, so, and what really means that Depeche Mode proved to others that you can play some good music. In fact, your music is based on electronics, right? And who is the one, the boss that, you know, goes search for some type of sounds, or is all of you?
Really, yeah. I mean, like, we all come up with sounds and things, or ideas for sounds, and most of them come from around us. Like, we could find some interesting sounds probably in this fairground.
E a questo punto penso che sia necessario al massimo. What you think about go look for Andy and Ellen? What you think about it?
Good idea.
Good idea.
Andiamo a cercare gli altri due se è possibile. They're pretty good on girls, are they?
Yeah, I mean, they probably are, yeah. Probably with a couple of chicks now.
It's going to be hard to find them.
Well, yeah.
Difficult, no problem. Andiamo a cercare Ellen e Andy, se le troviamo. È difficile. Ok.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Vedo che siamo molto calmi. You guys all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I tell you what, this is nice for me. An interview, right? a nice interview, calm and relaxed interview. Giusto per l'ottima intervista calma.
Do you know what our motto is?
Say that again?
Do you know what our motto is?
Right.
Ride to live, live to ride.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Yeah, look.
I see. Left. Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Whatever. Talking about video, parlando di video, quanti video avete a vostra attivo? How many video you guys shoot?
I think we've done 9 in all now.
But 8-9, and what do you think about the videos you shoot before? You like them, or your idea, you guys' idea?
The earlier ones are a bit...
Ma non proprio, perché erano basati soprattutto sulla recitazione, noi non siamo degli attori professionisti. Adesso per i nostri video preferiamo usare immagini sincronizzate con la musica.
We make the videos more visual and not so like you're acting scenes, just visuals to go with the music.
And we
Dice che il primo video... No, say it!
And
prima non avevamo un rapporto diretto con la direzione artistica del video, ora invece formiamo un ottimo team.
That we sort of, we work on the ideas together and we sort of come up with good ideas together.
Who's the art director? E chi è il vostro regista attuale?
The director, really, just like the video director.
Si chiama Clive Richardson e ha lavorato con gruppi come Siouxsie and Banshees, Blank Mange, eccetera.
Parlando sempre del video, la vostra opinione sulla promozione video? Good reputation, it's good reputation. Not bad. What do you think about the video like promotion? It's valid or no good or buono? Cosa pensate del video come promozione in sé per sé?
I think it's quite important, but
Direi che è ottima, anche perché esistono molte trasmissioni video, molte televisioni video come la vostra, come Video Music.
I think now, yeah, it's more important now, really, especially in places like America as well.
Right. And talk about America in 1982 voi eravate a New York, al RIS di New York, giusto? E le vostre sensazioni ed emozioni rispetto al pubblico americano? Talk about emotion. No! Well, talk about emotional, right?
Yeah.
How was the atmosphere when you started? It was kind of scary.
No, the audience is over in America.
Ma l'audience è praticamente la stessa, anche se in America abbiamo venduto poche copie, o meglio, sinceramente, quasi nessuna.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Questo per il momento.
And,
we're working on it.
I know you guys are. Faccio migliore auguri parlando adesso del vostro LP, l'ultimo, Some Great Reward. Avete usato il singolo Master and Servant come promozione, ma quanto tempo avete impiegato a produrre questo LP?
Some Great Reward.
Some Great Reward, and you start with a single, Master and Servant, right? For promote LP. Came out. Okay, how long it take to work on that LP?
Ma ditemi quanto tempo avete impiegato per produrre questo vostro ultimo LP? 2, 3 giorni?
4 months, 4 months. In England, in Berlin where?
Both England and Berlin.
In realtà abbiamo messo 4 mesi trascorsi tra Londra e Berlino. A Berlino abbiamo costruito e mixato i pezzi. In Inghilterra invece abbiamo inciso.
E le critiche sul vostro LP come sono?
Ma direi molto soddisfacenti.
E ditemi un'altra cosa.
In Britain and over Europe have been very, very good. And it's doing very well as well.
And who wrote the music and the words?
Chi compone musica e parole?
Sì, principalmente io. Uno dei brani dell'album però è di Alan, quello che stiamo cercando, che si è nascosto.
Boy, if I catch him.
Ah, se lo trovo, chissà dove è andato.
Sicuramente starà con qualche ragazzo.
He's probably with some
Stato con
chick.
qualche.
1 or 2 at a time, huh? 1 o 2 per volta. Well, you know,
Ma parlando adesso di video music, visto che vi ha tenuto compagnia in questi giorni, cosa ne pensate?
La prima volta che siamo venuti in Italia non era trasmessa ancora per tutto il giorno, mentre adesso sì, e direi che è proprio insostituibile.
That's great.
It's like radio but with visuals, you know.
No, I
io non li ho corrotti, eh?
I sure did, okay? Make sure about this point.
Keep playing the stuff.
Adesso vi prego io, dite qualcosa in italiano a vostri
Oh, I
fans.
got you this time.
You have got us this time,
Think about it. Ho chiesto loro di dire qualcosa ai fans di video music in Italia e in italiano e questo è il loro problema. Oh, say something in English, man. Whatever. But hurry up. Say something to your fans. Dave first.
Wait, I just want to get my stomach this time.
Martin.
Hello, fans in Italy.
Hello.
Hello. I was saying thanks to Martin and Dave. I'm sorry for Ellen and Andy.
We hope everyone enjoys the gigs.
E spero che voi vi divertiate al loro concerto, che questo che voglio manifestare è simpatia, amicizia e tanta musica, innanzitutto con il loro sound particolare. Un ciao from Johnny Parker Video Music e un ciao from...
Ciao.
Ciao, Martin.
Ciao, Dave.
Ciao, Dave.